9 o'clock, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First on the agenda is approve the minutes of April 1st, 2024 as written.
Go ahead, Tom.
It just says that I was here when I wasn't, so
Oh.
it's not a big deal. I was gonna abstain because I wasn't
Yeah.
here, so.
Yeah,
Also move.
I'll second that.
I'll take that out for you, put it back in.
Moved with corrections by Meat, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes 4-1. One abstention. Let's see, miscellaneous motions. No, I guess it would be Rhonda, would be up. Is there miscellaneous? Sorry, Rhonda, hold on a second. Oh. Moved to authorize director chairman to sign contract with Jack's Lawn and Pool Store for maintenance of North Property Pool. I mentioned this to you guys here a while back. Bi-weekly, come in, and you can see it stated in there that, water test, add chemicals as needed, dump skimmers and backwash, backflush the filter system. $60.75. That's for the mileage, $75 for the bi-weekly testing, cleaning.
I think it's a good investment to preserve the.
Like I said, I don't know how to test it, I don't have the testers. You know, if you over chemical pools is very expensive. You know, chemicals are the number one expense of a pool in my eyes. But if you don't know what it needs and you just go dump stuff in it, then it probably doesn't need it. So this has somebody else take care of the testing and the chemicals.
And this is something they do all the time, so,
Yes.
That's their job.
yep, that's our job.
It's best to let professionals do that job. I had a small pool once and you mess it up for me.
Yep. So, throwing it out there, if you want to, we can, if not, I can continue to do it, so.
That's so moved.
I'll second.
Moved by Thompson, seconded by, McCurry, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion passes.
I guess I need to move that down because the landfill fee is next.
Brad's not coming in for that,
Who?
Brad, for the IT?
I know he's out of town,
Okay,
so.
so go ahead and do the
Yeah.
IT.
Mhm.
Upon the recommendation of the IT director, move to approve the bid from Central Computer Distribution for Dell PowerEdge R750 rack mount server to be used to upgrade and increase our backup capacity. The total amount of $14,029 as best bid, and to approve the purchase to be paid from 2024 Technology Training Equipment Capital Outlay Fund.
That would be general fund, technology training equipment,
Okay.
just correction. Just saw that.
So moved.
I'll second.
And it
Moved
would
by-
also be line item, sorry.
with correction.
So that's gonna be moved from Central Computer to Dell, is that correct?
Well, Central Computer Distribution Center. Well, yeah, instead of Dell Online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, I mean, it's just a source of purchasing bid, I guess.
I see it now.
Yes. When I looked at this earlier, I thought he was buying 3 computers, but once you read the motion, it's
Yeah,
one.
That's the bids, I guess.
Yes, those are the bids, 3.
Now, he said that our current backup is almost full, so we need another backup server.
To go along with it.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Okay. Now, I believe we are to Rhonda. Wanna
Give you a picture.
How are you this morning?
Good, thanks.
got any colors? Colors? Any crayons?
No, they're all colored already.
Oh,
I'm sure you already know, but I'll give you one.
Good deal.
Oh,
I got,
Oh.
just go with it?
no, sorry, and it's stuck to it. Okay, Jeremy Huguenin came in and, he is requesting, to waive some landfill fees for this property. It's at 100 South 16th, Soldier Road property, which is so nice to finally get something going on that and clean that up at the end of the unit show. He is wondering, there is some, well, you can see the pictures, you know, and everything of, it definitely needs cleaned out and everything, but there is some things around the house also he was inquiring about. Would you have a problem if that was included in the dumping, of the demolition and everything, to get probably even to the buildings, I'm assuming, so kind of a maze out there, I'm sure, but
I would say whatever needs to be
just get it.
Yeah,
to get to it.
I would be in agreement with
I would agree with that.
Yeah, great.
When you talk cleanup of a piece of property, it's not only the house,
Right.
it's the
Stuff around it.
stuff
Yeah,
around it.
that kind of.
It looks like there's
Good
plenty of
deal.
stuff around it.
Good deal.
Is that the way it is, Ron?
Yeah, I think so.
There is a lot of stuff around it. I'm gonna abstain from voting because it's being related to me, but, I do know this, the third property he's acquired. One of the first ones, he cleaned up and resold it, now you got a $275,000, $300,000 home on it. He bought another one on the same block, if you will, here in town, cleaned it up, and since sold it. I believe there's a house going in there.
What's up?
And so, it's gonna clean this one up, and there's a house and multiple structures gonna go in there, so it's a win-win for everybody as far as I'm
It is.
concerned, so.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
That's the goal here.
You take a house like this, Rhonda, as a far, I haven't talked to Randall about something like this for, is this something that could be used for fire training?
Well, if it was a better structure, a lot of times they will ask me, hey, can we go and try to bust in there and things. This one, no. You know, that was
Might
very
fall through
dangerous.
the
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not walking in it.
Yeah, but we do, actually, the sheriff's department calls me periodically and they'll say, hey, do you have any houses? And so I do work with
I
them
was
on
wondering
that.
if this might be a good fit, something like
No, I think that's way too dangerous, probably. We wouldn't want anybody to get hurt.
that. I haven't been by that place, or if I have, I don't remember.
I think it's been a topic of discussion for years.
Yes, it has.
Get cleaned up,
Mhm.
and Hart's bought one over on the northwest end of town, and cleaned it up, and that looks beautiful over there, so.
Do we vote on it?
No.
Okay.
Put it in.
Okay.
I got it out of here.
Alright, well, it threw me for a loop. Motion is, waive landfill fees for structure owned by Jeremy and Randy Huguenin for a property located at 100 South Sixth Street, Burlington, Kansas.
16.
Oh, I missed the one.
Okay, 16th, yeah, 16th in Burlington, Kansas. I will move.
I'll second.
Moved by Mike, seconded by McCurry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes with one abstaining.
Great, thank you. Just a little update on our Gridley project, if you have a second. We did get the concrete poured and everything over there, footings were done and everything. We had a groundbreaking over there and everything. We're hoping to maybe start framing this week, and that should go pretty fast. Everything, so if you guys are over at Gridley, please stop and take a peek at it and everything. The city, they're wanting to get a banner up there and kind of, you know, promoting it and stuff, so hopefully we can get some interest in it and everything, and it's going pretty good.
Do you have anybody, I mean, has anybody spoken for the property yet?
Well, I did have a couple of people mention a couple of names to me and everything, so, but I said, well, let's get it built, so, you know, and then
Right,
we'll,
yeah.
but, you know, if we can at least start it, you know, they could pick colors if they want to, like paint colors, it's just not moving the plan around.
Right, how's the Leroy, is it full?
The triplex
Triplex.
is full at this moment, yes.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna ask, because there's a white car sitting there the last few days, or maybe the last week or two. I was hoping it'd been.
Yeah, the last one, he doesn't drive, but, he's in there, so that's good, so.
Rhonda, the house at Waverly on
Yes.
County Street,
Mhm.
is that
It's not sold yet. We are renting that out to
Right.
Heibergers. They
Right.
keep inquiring with me. We are kind of in a, they
I
want
was
to,
just- I was
yes,
just-
we're
I
working
know it's
on.
occupied, I just.
Yes, yeah, they're kind of interested in it, but I think that they just haven't, we're trying to work some things out on it and stuff, so, but they are definitely renting it and just taking the price off of, or taking the rent down off of there, so.
I was just curious.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Okay.
Thank you. River City,
Apologize for being
you're
a little bit late.
You're fine.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Good, good.
Good, how are you?
Got your welded helmet for the solar eclipse today?
I didn't think we'll see much of it out here. I know everybody's planning on it at home.
Yeah.
Had the long drive in is, I don't know if the traffic is getting worse for that, but it was rough this morning. Little update, got our safe room walls started, looking for pour on those. As you all can probably see, plan on pouring the walls this week and then continuing on our underground electrical and plumbing, mainly electrical at this point. The plumbers have moved to the north half, ahead of our slab pours. Still looking for, the south half slab pour on, there towards the end of April. As of now, we've been maintaining, looking forward to getting some concrete on the ground.
Yes, definitely. Takes care of the mud.
So yes, we were fortunate enough to get that, base in, or get that rock in to eliminate some of the mud. We haven't had it too bad, but our elevator pits did fill up one time. Had a nice swimming pool for a couple days.
Except it was too cold to enjoy it.
Yes, it was.
Looks like you're moving ahead
Yeah,
at a pretty
we-
good pace.
We've been very pleased so far. Had some good teammates on the job. Everybody's been team players so far, for the most part, and the concrete guys we've been very impressed with.
That's good.
Like to see it. They've been doing great work.
Good.
They're doing the wall and then looking to start that south retaining wall where the generator and the transformer are going to go, so we can set some temporary electric and have that ready ahead of our building coming up as well. And then we got the utilities, the water's coming into the building, so we'll have that ready for the masons. And hopefully it's going to get congested, but
It looks like there's a lot of activity out there.
it seems like it. There's a lot of people at least.
Yeah.
You guys are digging out there. Was you digging footings this morning out here in the northeast corner? Or-
That is where the water's coming. We're tying into the water main.
Oh,
They
okay.
set the vault for the fire vault, and then the water will be coming in there as well.
Oh, okay. You guys seen them, they're digging and dumping in the dump truck.
Yes.
Dirt.
Nice little hole there, but hopefully we'll get it covered up pretty quick. Don't like having holes open out there.
Yeah.
Most of the companies that you have out there working with, that you've worked with before, most of them,
A lot of them.
you've seen the quality work that they do.
We haven't worked with all of them per se. GGA brought in some that were recommended, or Goldberg Group. They recommended the concrete guys. There was a couple other ones they recommended that we hadn't used per se. Being, I know there was a few of them in Lynn County we used, but somebody has worked with most of them, and so far, if not, there's been a lot of phone calls made about them. I know the Mason was a new one for both of us. A lot of phone calls and a lot of people talking about it, so hopefully we can get some walls up pretty quick too. Good walls. Quick doesn't always mean everything.
Right.
That's right.
Are you also working on the Linden for Osage County? jail?
We are not. We are gonna go up there. They were setting their cells, I believe, coming up pretty quick, and we were gonna go up there. I know Ryan has been a part of a couple of the jails and has seen that, but there was a couple subs that are interested in going up and kind of seeing that process. We were fortunate enough with Sheriff Friend to go see Lynn County as well multiple times, so everybody's getting a feel of it if they haven't half of our subs, or not half, but the electricians, the mechanical and plumbers are up there. I don't remember who else, but they're both up there working on it now. So they're kind of taking what they learn up there and bringing it down here, asking the right questions ahead of time, hopefully. Most of them, there's been a lot of questions, but everybody's been doing pretty well looking ahead.
Good. I don't have anything else.
Perfect.
You're gonna see a bill next week.
Yes,
Nicole sent it to me, and we're gonna go over it at some point this week, but it's for another, what, $860,000.
I think you might have even broke the 900. It was right there, getting a lot of people on side, a lot of people want paid. But it's moving forward.
So it's not a surprise.
Yes, sir.
But pay that,
Yes, pay it.
just make sure everybody knows, pay it, no change order.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep,
Pay app number 4, I believe.
correct. And the lion's share of it, if I just glance through, is for Concrete Unlimited.
Yes, they got a pretty good one.
Yep.
Anticipating the concrete, the slab, the walls, because they do bill through the end of the month. Well, actually, that would have been last month. They finished their footings through last month, and footings foundations were complete, minus the walls and safe room was their big line item they were billing for. And rebar, they got a lot of bar
There's a
out
lot of
there.
rebar in that safe roof.
There's a lot of
Wow.
rebar. It looked good. It looked like it could have been a jail cell. It was
Yeah, exactly.
it was pretty for rebar.
It's well reinforced.
How many tons of rebar is there going in?
Ooh. It's a good question. We can get you some number. I know each of the mats for the walls, so there was 8 mats total, and I think they were anywhere 1,200 to 1,500 pounds a piece just in that safe room for the vertical steel. And there's, I think, 20 or maybe it's 20 on 2 walls, so about 40 embeds steel for the lid. It's pretty stout. Pretty good size.
Very good.
Make it last longer. Very good, Cole.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cole. Enjoy the nice weather.
Thank you.
Well. Who?
Adam's
Oh, Adam's here? He slipped in on me. All right. Adam, Road and Bridge.
here. Right back there, right back there in the corner.
He's hiding in the corner.
Outside of
I
mine.
must have had my eyes
That's
closed
right.
when you walked in. I go, no.
I don't have much. No call-outs this weekend. Just a little bit of an update on, I'll pass this around. This is the canceling our contract with Custom Truck. I received that last week. Wade's reviewed it and says it's good to go, so we'll proceed forward with getting that contract canceled and starting over, unfortunately.
Okay. We need a motion to authorize the chairman to sign, or you guys sign it?
No, we'll sign it.
You guys go sign it?
Yeah, Ryan or I'll sign it. I just
Okay.
wanted you guys to be aware of it and look it over.
Too good to be true.
Yep, you live and learn.
Yes, unfortunately. And it's gonna cost us a lot more money though, too.
You mean trucks aren't coming down?
No, unfortunately.
Well, like I've always said, it's only a mistake if you don't learn from it.
Exactly.
Well, gotta try to save money where you can. This time it didn't work out. Try
Yeah,
it again.
we were really sold on their operation up there when we went and looked at it and went through there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that place up there, but it's beyond what words can describe. So it's unfortunate, but we'll move on. The next thing is we got that blade engine, we got the head off of it last week, and long story short, there is no Band-Aid. First two pictures are down inside the cam, looking at the cam, and then the lifters, and what the last one's the keeper that broke that sent everything haywire. The piston does have some valve stamps on it, so until it's completely torn down, we never know what it's going to look like underneath that piston. Bearings, rod, it's going to need head work for sure. So we're either, what I'm working on right now is getting some different numbers on the way it sits now as a trade-in, and going ahead and getting some numbers on if it had a new long block in it.
And
we'll go from
numbers
there.
if you just fix what's wrong with this one.
I don't think there's probably going to be any way just to fix what's wrong with it as far as a Band-Aid. Craig and I had some discussion, Ryan and I had some discussion, and I spoke with our cat salesman, and it's probably either going to have to be one or the other. Either let it go as the way it sits, or put a new motor in it. I mean, I guess the determining factor is if we're going to leave it the way it sits is fine, depending on where that number comes in, but in order to figure out how extensive the damage is, we're going to have to pull it and get it up there. And if we do that, I mean, I guess it could be an option, because we don't really know how bad the damage is until it's completely
So,
torn out.
I didn't see it, or at least I can't make it out, the picture of the top of the piston.
I didn't take a picture of that, I forgot. It's got two valve stamps in the top.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the best thing, but I got a bunch of them running
Yeah.
with marks in them and stuff like that. You know,
Um,
I don't
they're
know
not-
how bad it is, you know,
They're not horrible, but you can definitely tell that,
that would prevent from just putting the head back on and getting it running again, the head of the cam.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to, the problem is it's gonna have to be pulled to get the cam put in it, and the cam is completely shot.
Okay,
Um,
and that's
it's-
right, you told us
The
that
cam,
last week.
the cam is completely,
I keep thinking that's, that you could take that apart without,
no, it's gotta come out because there's not enough room to pull the cam out while it's in the blade.
Okay. I
So-
understand better.
We'll continue moving on and figure out what we think we need to do with it, and I've got a cat guy coming tomorrow to take a look at the two blades for an assessment, and then I'm still waiting to hear from Murphy, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
It was kind of a little worse than what I was expecting.
That's not something somebody did wrong, you got
No,
to keep
it's,
her let
I mean,
go, it's just, that's running equipment.
it's a 12,000 hour machine,
I was
so
gonna say, you said 14,000 hours?
it's over 12,000, between 12 and 13. I checked there last week.
Yep.
So it's been around.
Right, it's not.
Round and around and around.
Yep. So that's all I've got, unless you guys have some questions for me.
I just got one thing here, for very pretty. He's got a culvert there between Shetland and Reaper that's completely silted in and it's running across the road.
Okay.
I went out and met with him, and took a look at it, and so if you'd like to, that's his phone number and everything.
Yeah, I think
It's coming off the north, water runs from north to south, and
it comes from the east there, down where I think Lohmeyer's cleared some trees and stuff out.
that's correct.
It's on our radar. I've got it on my list.
Well, he's got a, like a water gap, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
steel water gap there, and it's silted clear up above the bottom line.
The problem there is
And he's not mad, he was just concerned that it's
Yeah.
gonna start. Anyway,
we would have to do some work out on his ground
Right.
to fix that problem completely.
sure.
And he knows that.
And he knows that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Yep, it's just one of those things our work list never gets shorter, it doesn't seem like.
I seen yesterday on 50 Highway, I think it was east of Homestead, on the north side of 50, Old 50, there's a sign down, I don't know if you guys know it or not. I don't know what kind of sign it is, all I seen was it was just laying out on the ground, so.
Okay,
I think
I'll
it's maybe I think it was west of Tim Weiss's house, might have been west of that bridge.
Okay.
That bridge there.
I'll
And
let
then that-
Janet know, 'cause I got a phone call about a no passing sign on my Autobahn this weekend. I let her know about, so.
Okay, I didn't notice it this morning, but, then the hole there at, Harlan Davis's Hill in the eastbound lane, right on the shoulder,
Okay,
edge of the road, I'm afraid somebody drops a car off there.
Just
They're
to
gonna
put
be
some rock
right
in it.
They're gonna be right in the embankment.
okay.
And
Just
possibly
east of Harlan, you said?
Right at
Right
Harlan's
at Harlan's,
Hill,
okay.
yeah, right in the center of the hill,
I'll look at that.
so it's pretty bad.
Get some rock put in at least, and I think that's supposed to.
When, have they had the pre-construction meeting?
No. Dates we've heard is as early as July 4th. The latest start date, I believe, is the 26th of July. So, yeah, that should be coming up.
I know they want to spend a lot of money on it right now, knowing that it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Just a matter of putting maybe 3 or something in
just
there.
some Band-Aids, yeah.
Okay.
I think everything else seems.
And Wind Farms did get a sign up out there on, that. no access-
21st.
Yes,
21st, just off of Trefoil.
right, that goes back into that,
Yeah.
I think they put a no access sign up.
Wind farm traffic only,
Right.
no public access or something.
Something
Derek
like
got a
that.
hold of me and I went and looked at it. I just wanted to make sure it was off of our right of way,
And
and it
It
is.
is, yeah, okay.
So that's
Sounds good.
their road. I didn't realize until I started talking to Derek that they bought that from Melvin. Basically the road.
The
for
road
the
itself, the
right-of-way.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's theirs to maintain everything east of that box culvert. So, yep, I looked at that there a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Little by little, get things checked off the list, right?
Take off the backside
Yeah.
and put on the front side.
Take 1 or 2 off and have 5 or 6.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thanks for
Thank
the
you.
update.
Oh, now it's for that Carl Lee guy.
Yeah.
Environmental Health Director, Carl.
What it is, I haven't given you guys an update on environmental health in a while. One, you know, I got some education on water.
Don't go around cattle, they got bird flu.
Or your PPE.
Yeah, mask up. I don't know, the cows aren't flying yet. Boy, that'll make your windshield,
That would be nice.
Top page is what it, gives you a quick summary of some of the things I've done back in 2023. And what that does is in the number of wastewater ponds I put in, septic tank and lateral fields for absorption, some real estate inspections and complaints that I work. Ned talked about the technical assistance in which I helped with economic development, which I really enjoy doing that. So I wanted you guys to know I had a lot of fun doing that. And then if you go down through there, I did some research into Kansas statute and Kansas administrative regulations on nuisance law. And each of the branches of it is like water, wastewater, junkyards, solid waste, air, all have a definition what they want for nuisances. So what I did was thinking about incorporating it in something as a tool that we can use within our toolbox within the sanitary code, because it's got its own definition. It's also got a definition statutory related for nuisances, and that's going to build upon that for the next year. And then 2024 is just what we've gotten started for the year.
Like you got plenty started.
Now, on the wastewater ponds, when you start to look at the permit numbers, some of that was carryover work that Maryland left for me, in which the permits weren't issued. So I've been trying to work through those as time is allowed to get those permits issued so people knows what our expectation is for them to maintain their wastewater systems. following pages, I put together some educational material. On March 14th, I got an invitation to go up to Melbourne, Corps of Engineers, for the Kansas City office, held a public hearing for what they call their water control plan. And it was for their whole district, but that one was focused on Pomona and Melbourne. And so, as I sit and I listen to them talk, I looked at some of the graphics they have posted outside. I thought it would be good for us to be educated a little bit on what the conservation pool and what their different pools are. And that top sheet gives you what the conservation pool is, their elevations, and the amount of water it's in. Now, not only is that important for economic development, but if we get into a drought situation again, then we know what those volumes are, and it gives us a baseline to understand what the Corps and Kansas Water Office is doing as far as water allocation, whether it's for the drought or economic development. Now, as you go through that, I got several documents that are in there. One of them is I just reprinted. This isn't an updated list. It's not updated. It's just it's the same list that we had back in January. But if you just wanted to look at numbers that we got going for economic development, compare it to what we got into our lakes and the conservation pool, it's just another resource piece of information. And the documents to follow is nothing more than the graphics from each of those lakes. Because sometimes you see data that a graphic will speak to you more. So that's why I included those graphics in there. And then the last 2 pages is maps of the Cottonwood, Neosho River Basin, and the Maritime River Basin. What that does is give you an idea of who all the customers are that get water off of each basin. And that gives you an idea of what the Corps is managing for and who they're managing for in conjunction with the Kansas Water Office. They work together on it. And so it's just educational information that so as we progress down the road in the future, you have something to reference back to and gives you some background knowledge.
Meredith is huge compared to this.
It's a deep lake. If you go to the graphic, this one right here, it gives you an idea of how deep the lake is on the elevations. But what this is just to give us an idea of what we have in our backyard and how it supplies Coffee County. We're used to seeing John Redmond, and it's when I talked to there's a representative from the Kansas Water Office, and we was talking about the volumes that were available as far as acre feet within what's in the conservation pool, and he goes, yes, Redmond is a pancake, whereas Melbourne's a true bull. They designed it and built it as a true bull.
Must have way more natural than the current lake.
Yeah. But this gives you the idea of how and what we're looking at as we build upon the future and see things.
Pretty neat information.
It gives you something out of the ordinary to look at. Instead of talking about blown engines or rock on the roads or things of that nature. Or the construction of the DL, it gives you something else. A little level.
Interesting.
If you got any questions, come by.
Appreciate it, Carl.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
There's a lot of information on these pages.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Carl.
I don't remember the gentleman's name here that was here last week that has adjoining property to the, here, the 4.9 acres east of
Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Anderson, there we go.
I didn't do a very good job of representing myself last week. It was somebody else standing here, and I was back here talking, but I'm sure you were disappointed in my lack of putting some skin in on the price for the price of the land. Other states that I've lived in, I've seen people sell parcels of land for $1 just to make it a legal situation, and I didn't know whether we were talking hundreds or thousands. But as a retired military person, can't say, here's my checkbook, what's your price?
Right.
The skin in the game that I had on this is I have several hundred hours of cleanup. The previous owner left a lot of construction debris, cinder blocks, hose, vinyl siding, reed rod, you name it, it was back there. Plus a lot of overgrowth, vines and trees that I've cut down. So that was my skin in the game.
Probably actually some actual skin too, right?
Some actual what?
Some actual skin too, right?
Yes, some actual skin. You couldn't walk back there, it was that thick. And I cut up at least 2 large pickup loads of firewood I donated to somebody, and burned a lot of it, but that's the only skin I got to tell you. I just would like to see it corrected, because eventually I'll sell it and it'll pass the problem on to somebody else, but I thought, now, why would he want to rip off a retired veteran when you could just increase the price of the 3 lots that you're selling to make up for any additional costs of correcting this situation that was not of my doing, so.
Well, I mean, I don't know whose doing it was, but I mean, the previous owner or the agent that sold it to you, you know.
Previous owner.
Somebody, the county did not do this.
Right.
Yeah,
The county-
somebody didn't know where the line was.
Yeah, the county is righting the wrong.
Right.
That was put over onto you. You thought you owned it, you don't own it, and so that's where we're at today. I don't remember, we had the bill come through from the survey people, it was like, what was it, $5,000, $3,000 last week
I've got it right
to
here.
survey that out?
I think it was 500.
Or was it 500?
525.
Okay. Was what it cost to have, well, that's not counting the county employees that went out and actually did the survey. That's just for them to
Rubber stamp it.
Our county's, survey department, so. Tom wasn't here last week, I don't know if you watched the Zoom meeting, but the county's property on the 3 north lots
It goes east by the way.
goes east right through those trees, basically.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on a map.
And so this
There
gentleman,
was some debris there that.
this gentleman would like to continue to look at it as his property or have it re-surveyed, which is going to back things up for the sale of the 3 lots.
Yeah, to possibly buy. Was 10 acres or 10 feet? I can't remember.
Yeah, 10 or 12 feet.
Yeah.
What they talked about.
And if you
Yeah.
need somebody to adjust those with a 12-foot 2-4, I can adjust those sticks and keep your,
I understand.
from having to resurvey it. Somebody can sit in their office and figure it out.
Well, I mean, to have legally, you've got to have it resurveyed.
Oh, legally.
Yep.
Okay.
It's gotta be restaked, it's gotta be redone, because the acreage is gonna change. I mean, and we don't know what that 12 foot's gonna take away from that center lot. I mean, we know it's gonna take 12 foot, however long it is,
Right.
from north to south, east to west 12 foot, but we just don't know how many, that's gonna have to be surveyed out of that center. I think it was a center.
That's like 600 and some feet.
If we
North
were
to
do
south.
that.
Is that just through your property?
No, that's the association. The association will have property on both ends, and I have it in the middle.
So you're just wanting the middle piece? Or you're
Yeah.
wanting the whole thing for the association?
But it'd be nice to sell it to the association, just a one and done.
Trying to put it over there, but I had to restart.
Well, yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, your property's the only one up on this north end, there's some old cedar trees that are,
I'm in the middle.
yeah, but you're talking
Yeah.
about doing the whole thing.
Right.
These trees are old, and
Right.
they're definitely on the county side.
Yeah.
These are really close to being on the
Those
line
are,
that
yeah,
are in your property here,
Yeah.
correct?
right.
So, your property ends here at this red line right here, right?
In the center of that circle.
Yeah, there's a red line right there.
And then I go to there.
Okay.
And then the association owns the last bit here.
Okay.
But your concern was that you were afraid somebody would just take those trees out, and I'm really not sure, I mean, and that may be so, but I'm not sure why they would even think about that, because that,
Yeah.
That's my thoughts would be.
I mean, I went out and just took a look at it just to kind of get an idea of what it looked like, and I'm not saying that they wouldn't take them out, but I'm not sure what the process, I mean, what.
Yeah, it would be silly to
It'd
take
be
them out.
silly to take, I mean, they're cedar trees, and I saw where your red bud was, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's an old red bud in the process of dying, so
Right.
it's not. But did you also see my new peach trees?
Well,
last
no.
night? But
I'm gonna wait till this is the fruit before.
I understand, if it's gonna be a big deal and you have to resurvey it, I'll understand.
I'd say the option is hit up whoever the winning bidder and buy 10 feet off of them.
I can't hear you.
I'd say the option, just from my standpoint, is find out who buys it when we sell it, buy 10 foot off of them. There we go.
Yeah, that'd
That
be an option.
would be an option.
I mean, that's,
Okay.
other than us going to the expense of rezoning it and selling you 10 feet, but.
Yeah, you might.
What we, I mean,
I would talk to whoever buys it and say, hey, you know, I've done this, this, and this. Would you sell me 10 foot off of it? I really don't want to see these trees taken out or cut down. You know, I'd really like to see this continue as a good neighbor and try to work out an agreement that way. I'm not for selling anything back to the group, whatever, Brentwood Association, but.
Well,
I mean, you've
got
I understand your situation, I truly do.
Yeah. I would sure hope and would sure think that they wouldn't want to take them out, because they'd be, in my mind, they'd be beneficial to them, just like they are to you, the
Right.
screening buffer,
Screening
whatever
buffer,
you want
yeah.
to call it, for their backyard. I mean,
yeah,
I sure wouldn't understand why they would want to. That would be my thought.
you never know till you ask,
I
right?
understand, and I'm very sorry for the dilemma you're in, I mean.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for your consideration.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Take care.
Right along through this.
Good.
Congratulations, welcome back. I'll get this paperwork done. I'm sure Wade's got goodies for you today.
Thank you.
have you had very many applications, Angie, on those boards?
Um,
I see one, but I didn't.
Yeah,
Since I
right.
wasn't here. So you're saving them?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I am.
That's good enough.
well, I can get it, you can look at them too, so you can see who.
Yeah, there's several.
Oh, there's
Board ones in there. There's three maybe,
Three.
two or three.
Three on the planning and one on library, and I have another one that's coming in probably tomorrow to apply for the planning. Or tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm sorry.
That one that's coming in, does that make 4?
I think it will make 4, I think. If you have
Just
two
'cause it-
planning there, then that one, that's 3, right?
Have you got some of them stepping down on that?
One's reapplying, and
Okay.
I think the other 2 are new,
Okay.
and then the one that's coming in is also be a new one.
Well, this here's the one I'm aware of that I talked to yesterday. Saturday, I did. I think the paper said that the applications would be, we go to the 30th of April. If we get 4 or 5 applications, which is more than the 3 we need, can we decide on that earlier? Or do we need to wait till the 30th?
Probably gotta wait till the 30th, so
No,
your
it's-
cutoff.
That's kind of the way it was written, I think, but
Was it the cutoff, or that's when the term ends?
Term ends the end of this month.
Because the term ends on the 30th.
Yes.
Let
so
me
we
see.
can't make any decisions, and I'm not saying we have to.
Well, yeah,
Can't make any decisions until after the 30th,
Let me look real quick.
which would be on a Tuesday.
Says that all positions to be filled by April 30th. So,
Yeah.
Doesn't say we're cutting off applications the 30th, so I'd say we could probably do it whenever.
That sounds like we could do it anytime we had enough numbers,
Is that what you read into that way?
and we were satisfied with the application.
Watch any basketball?
I've watched more women's basketball than probably any time in my entire life, and those were some good games.
they are,
Yeah, they
they have been good games.
My wife, they said that, well, it's the same as you said, that attendance and, betting and everything was record high on women's basketball.
They had more people watching the last several games than some of the majority of the NFL games, the majority of any other sports. Remarkable.
I'm assuming Iowa State's still in?
They lost yesterday.
They lost, did they?
Yeah, South Carolina.
Wow.
Girl from South Carolina was 6'7".
Wow.
And they
Just
just,
stand down there.
and those girls are fast. Holy smoke, they're fast.
Good grief, she was tall.
They were fun to watch.
Yeah.
I was hoping that Iowa would pull it out, but they just, they're throwing up bricks for some reason. I couldn't get them.
Yeah, what she had, 32, 33 points, something like that.
She had 18 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, she did.
Which is nuts.
I don't remember what I estimated. I don't remember what they estimated the pool opening. Do you remember?
It was around
I thought it was between $600 and $700 to come and open the North Pool. So it did come through. 682.42.
I guess that was gonna be my topic on roundtable, but while the invoice is here is, I mean, we need to put a for sale sign in the front yard out there.
Jesse has.
Bart's supposed to be getting with, their attorney's supposed to be getting with ours to get the, lease agreement contract ironed out, so.
Okay.
So,
That's no,
yep, for Bailey. And then they're talking about having at least 2, maybe 3 people there all the time. Yeah, within the month, probably.
That means they're gonna cut the grass too?
Yeah.
I will let them have my tractor up there if they want to cut the grass. I'll even show them how to run it. so. It's a cantankerous old Ford tractor.
I'm gonna say, how old is it? It may need
It's old.
complete schooling.
It needs, it's old. So.
That's good to hear.
And-
Well, that'd be breaking ground.
So, Angie, on the library board, is someone stepping down from that?
Yeah,
Is
well,
that,
it's
is
been-
that right? I guess I could.
Let's see,
Since October.
hold on, let me look. I don't think they're stepping down, I think that,
Or is this,
there's one position open, I think, and the person's reapplying, but then there's another person that's applying.
so this is a reapply on,
This is, oh, this,
Oh, that's a new one,
that's new.
that's another.
So what the deal was, there was 2 or 3 that was gonna be up for reappointment at the end of the month. We decided to advertise just in case somebody else
okay, all right.
was interested in that same position, if
Right,
you will, to
right.
get, just to keep it fair and mix it up.
Sure.
And I can't remember which ones they were.
It sounds like, the way it's put in the paper, we could go ahead and make a decision on that board as well as the planning board,
Mhm.
although we don't have to.
There was 3 on the planning board, and 1 on the library up at the end of this month. So, that's where you're at.
Was that advertised as one time?
We're advertising it every week until,
No, but I mean, up till now, was it last week and the week before, or just last week?
no, it was the day they made the motion to
This,
advertise, we've been advertising every week.
that's what 2 or 3
And it's
weeks
on
ago.
social media too.
Okay.
That was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you were here, so
Yeah.
it's been probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It goes in that one, right?
There's the check, madam.
Thank you.
Did you go down to Woodland Creek last week too? Was that-
No, they didn't call me, I just went to talk to them. As far as I know, everything's going on.
I just, he called me last week and I had a slam packed week and then I left Thursday at noon, so I didn't ever get a chance to get up with him, see what he was.
At Woodland Bridge?
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
I plan on touching base with him Monday.
Here's the invoice from Rush Truck Center out of Topeka. 10/30/15/40, 424 bulk, I'm not sure what that is. It's almost $6,400. There's not a place in Coffee County we can't buy that product.
Was it just a truck that was up there? Is that an oil change?
No, it's
Bulk oil.
$6,300 bulk oil.
They're pretty competitive on their price.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm not saying
It's,
it's bulk and it's 370 a quart, 370, 485, 447. So there's different costs there too.
I mean, I'm not saying on this, I'm just saying.
What about, what was it, mobile Delvac or?
Delvac 1300, Super 1030. The other's 1300, 1540 weight.
Yeah, 1300 multi-grade, mobile Delvac.
Two of them are yeah. would almost bet that's available within the county with as many deals that we have in the county.
I know our old supplier quit supplying us with mobile.
Is that Delvac mobile?
Yeah,
Say that again,
I'm
James.
not aware of a bulk supplier in Coffee County, but there might be.
Yeah, I sure,
Yeah, I'm aware.
oh, I don't know, wait.
Yeah. Ours-
They stopped supplying us with mobile Delvac. We had to go to another supplier to get it.
Ours comes out of Iowa.
Yours comes out of Hampton, there, Iowa.
Yes, sample.
And well, that's who we had to go to for mobile.
It's a big help.
And maybe there is somebody, but I'm not aware of who it is, if there is.
I'm a little bit surprised that Coffeyville can't do it, but they may not be able to. Don't have any idea what the details are. What are your thoughts on filling these positions? Since we got enough, go ahead and select the candidates we need, or wait another week or two?
Well, I know you have one more coming in this week that just asked me yesterday, so maybe wait
Okay.
a week, I don't know. I mean, that way you can look through them all and make a decision.
Well, they got one more meeting this month, which is 17th, is that correct? Zoning does anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, their next meeting's gonna be a week from this Wednesday, isn't it?
Correct.
So you still have time.
We gotta wait till it's.
It's just to be filled by the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
We should,
And we've still got 2-3 weeks.
yeah, how was it advertised in the paper? I mean, we probably should wait till the deadline, shouldn't we?
Well-
I don't think there was any deadline
There's
to
no
it.
deadline to it.
Okay,
It says
That's
will
what,
be filled by
not until
April 30th.
okay.
You can probably just announce today that you're gonna fill it no later than the 22nd. And then that way you're before the 30th, it's after the 17th, which is their next meeting, and people watch.
Oh, yeah.
doing it that way, at least everybody had an opportunity.
Yeah, just gonna try to get everybody we can.
Yeah.
So do you want me to put something in the minutes that the board will fill positions for library and planning
On the 22nd
Monday?
meeting.
Can I do that since it's not a motion?
From the applications that have been received by April 22.
Make a motion to discuss and fill the zoning and planning and library seats, the open seats on April 22nd commission meeting
Add it as an agenda topic.
as agenda.
There we go.
Ta-da. That contract for Cameron,
Yep.
did I sign that? I didn't sign that last week, did I?
Nope, you wanted to wait until Tom was back
Oh,
and
okay.
discuss.
Okay.
Discuss this,
Yep. So, I have it ready for discussion.
Okay.
This is copies for,
Yep. It's just 2 pages.
We got thinking about that last week when I went home. Monday was a long day.
the next,
Yep. Made a lot of headway though, covered a lot of things.
It's just 2 pages, right?
Yes. So what I just handed out is a mirror image of what I have on the screen, except for, in what I gave you, there was a spelling error that wasn't picked up until I was reading through it. But it's the notice of public hearing related to the 3 tracts of land. It's not in its final version, but it's probably pretty close. It references the county resolution that gives you the authority to do what you're doing, which is to choose the method of sale. The method of sale ends up being public live auction, including the ability to bid on the property remotely real time by phone and online as the method of sale most beneficial to the county, with the assistance of Cameron Roth of Vaughn Roth Land Brokers, with waiver of commission and marketing fees by Vaughn Roth Land Brokers. For Tom, Cameron came in last week, and I think the original intent was he was not going to charge a commission, but the county was going to pay for all marketing and advertising fees. That's not going to happen. And he's got that written into his contract, so this reflects that as well. It also references waiver of commission and marketing fees as reflected in the auction listing agreement, land exclusive seller agency signed by both parties. It's not signed, so it would, we have to discuss that and figure that out. As the method of sale most beneficial to the county, each tract shall be offered individually. Take that out for each tract of land and or combination for tract with no reserve. And then here's where probably need to get a hold of Cameron and figure out the timing. But the public live auction will occur on Friday, May 10th. That's the date he mentioned last week, commencing at, and I don't know when that would be, with the assistance of Cameron Roth, in the basement of the courthouse, with the ability to bid remotely and in real time. Vaughn Roth Land Brokers will market and advertise the property prior to the public live auction. On the following Monday, public hearing will be held. A public hearing will be held on Monday, May 13th, 2024 at 10 a.m., at which time Cameron Roth will present to the board verified bids with contracts to purchase said property. The board will discuss and receive public comments and allow public participation concerning the foregoing, where the hearing will be held, and that as far as what's required here, this notice will be advertised 2 times in Cobb County Republican, and then at the conclusion of the public hearing, the board will be prepared to take formal action, including to enter into the sale and disposal of said real property. So it mirrors what's been done before, except for the notice ends up being customized to meet the needs of whatever the method of sale is. And in this one, you know, you've done fixed price, you've done go through a realtor, you've done now this live auction. So by resolution, you have the ability to decide and forge your own path moving forward, and that's what this notice is intended to do, to comply with what's required and give the public notice on how you are choosing to move forward, and if they want, the public can show up and make comments.
So I just think public auction's the fairest way. Everybody has an opportunity. You list it with a realtor, and somebody don't get in to try to raise the bid or whatever. I just feel that auction is the best way to dispose of public property.
Yeah, and the way he's doing it, I mean, phone or.
Yeah, give everybody the opportunity.
It gives everybody an opportunity
Attend
to
in whatever
bid.
forum they want to.
Yeah.
This auction listing agreement, land exclusive seller agency, presented last week by Cameron. I've looked over it. I think the highlights are, as he indicated and as mentioned in the notice, he's not getting any commission, he's not being reimbursed for marketing and advertising, which he's basically volunteering his time and services to help the county, and that's really he's just the one that will do all the work and then bring it, and that's what this contract in essence says. At the very end, the additional terms of listing, which is always something to pay attention to. Number 1, the property shall be offered as 3 individual tracts in combination thereof, with the property selling in whichever form garners the most proceeds. Number 2, the commission and marketing fees payable to Vaughn Roth Land Brokers shall be 0. So, I think, outside of that, it's a boilerplate. Listing agreement. The only thing that would need to be modified is on page 1 where it says, exclusive right to sell between seller and broker, and it lists the date of April 1st, that would need to be changed to April 8th if you're wanting to move forward, and then ending on October 1st, 2024. So.
Well, and I'm gonna say something because it irritates me. I believe his ear has been bit by the hospital. I don't know who called him from the hospital. I don't know why the hospital called him. What business the hospital had calling him. It's the county's property, it's not the hospital's property. I mean, the hospital had it earmarked in their name, yeah, but it's still county property. I don't know why they interfered. And so then he turned and said that he would donate his time and the expense of the advertising, because he's helping the community. And I truly believe that comes directly from the hospital. I'm not real pleased with the way that things have happened there. If I get a chance, I'm gonna find out who that was. Because they had no right calling a person that we contacted to sell that property, in my eyes. And that's just me looking at it.
I thought maybe we resolved that
With the Meadows.
they tried to sell the property.
Yeah, not the Meadows.
I thought maybe we resolved that.
Waverly. Yeah. So, I'm just gonna throw that, that's my 2 cents worth. I'm not real pleased. And, my eyes, they should have kept their nose out of it. I didn't ask him to do it. I did not ask him to do it free of charge. I wanted to pay for the expense of advertising. He quoted somewhere around 800, not to exceed $800. And if somebody's gonna cry over $800 that would be taken out of the proceeds of the land sale,
Got an individual trying to do something to benefit our community, that he's trying to do a little something back for the community for gratitude. I commend him for that.
Cameron's a great guy. Got a heck of a business and.
Yeah. And there's a reason why he takes care of business.
That's my 2 cents. That's my red face moment.
Was not aware of that.
So are you wanting to renegotiate what's in here?
You're not gonna talk him out of it.
I tried to do that when he was here.
Yeah. Need to.
Yeah, I tried to tell him
Final.
when he was here.
Final word. So, thank him for it, you know, I do.
So the only thing that's outstanding is
The date, time, the time.
Well, the time, he mentioned the May 10th, and I think, it was mentioned last week, you still have time to get the publication in. And if you want to move forward, we can still finalize with the time to be established, because the date is what it is, and the time, once we firm that down, which shouldn't take much at all. And the notice can be provided to the paper, and I think it will cover and satisfy what needs to be done.
I mean, could a person put by 7 PM? By, or does it have to be exact time?
I think you need to have the time so people know, and that's the whole point. And I just.
Do we need to call him?
We can bring it back up, call him on a break, and I'm sure he can answer pretty quick, but that will be in his marketing materials, what will go out, what that time would be. I'd either say it would be in the morning or immediately after.
Oh, it'd be in the evening, it'd be 6:30.
Or no, I think he said in the evening, you're right.
Yeah, 6:30.
So that would mean the courthouse.
6:30 or 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you're right. So, once we get the firm time on that, we can fill that in, and maybe on a break, that someone can call, I can call, you can call, and get a time from them, and then if you're wanting to move forward.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get it done, if we can get it
Yeah,
done.
I'd like to get it done.
Okay.
So the basement meeting room would be the best place instead of like 4-H.
Well, we can ask him, I just put the,
It's just gonna cost to rent the 4-H building, wouldn't it? But can they charge anything? I don't even know if it's open. I don't know what if they charge for the 4-H building or not. I mean, as far as setting up tables go and clean up, probably gonna be easier to do it here.
yeah.
I don't know. County could buy some water or, snacks or something. Put on a table back there for people that come in, want dinner. Might not be even show up. Who knows?
I think that basement would be big enough for whoever does show up. You can see a lot of people down there.
They might show up online,
Right.
or call in, all of the above.
So we wanna take a 10-minute break?
Sure.
Take a 10-minute break and be back at, 10:22? At 10:12. See if I can round him up. A lot of times he screens my phone calls.
We're cracking up.
Alright, we're back. I did get to visit with Cameron, he said 7 PM on the 10th, May 10th,
Okay.
for the live auction.
As far as we know, it'll be in the courthouse station.
That's what we discussed.
The only other thing I'd want to double check on this, and this is just because in my head, I think that's the right resolution. It's either 900 or 910.
I think it's 900, but don't quote me on that. Angie should have that.
Well, I originally had 900, and then for some reason.
I think we're above 900.
Well, this is
This
a
is-
standing resolution.
Yeah.
Do you know what the resolution is it 900 or 910? I think it's 900
For the
for
property?
the sale of property.
Oh,
I think you're right, it's 900, but in my head, for whatever reason, 910 popped in.
Something.
This is on that resolution we did several months ago for.
Around this time last year.
I think so.
Yeah, you're right, it's 900. A resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Coffee County, Kansas, adopted pursuant to KSA 19-1211, establishing methodology for disposal of personal and real property.
Okay.
Yeah, I remembered something.
Yeah, that's me.
God, darn.
Ding, ding, ding.
I get a sticker for today.
That'd be an awful lot, wouldn't it?
So, step one, I'm gonna bring this over to you, and you'll need to scratch out April 1st, put today's date, if that's what you wanna do, and then there needs to be a motion to, have Von Rock Land Brokers as the, broker for the county, and approve the chairman to sign the auction listing agreement, land exclusive seller agency for the, what it says there.
Remind me what?
Yeah, you probably just need to see it.
So that April 1st would have to be today's date, is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because it's not being signed until,
Okay.
it had last week's date, but it got
Right.
tabled.
Do I need to list the property?
In the very top of where it says Coffee County Commission, I just list for, what does it say, the
North tract, middle tract, south tract on 12th Street, Burlington, Kansas.
Yep.
Okay.
No, that's Wednesday, April 10th.
No, Friday, it'd be Friday, May 10th,
Oh,
7 PM.
Well, we'll do another one
Oh,
for
you're
the
doing
notice.
Oh, okay.
Because we're doing this first, and then we'll do the
Okay,
notice
do the
of
notice.
public.
Okay.
Okay. Alright.
I guess that's okay.
And I just have the date that it's signed is from, April 8th, 2024 through October 31st, 2024, with no brokerage or marketing fees.
In this motion.
Yep.
Be, April 8th through October 1st.
So this would be, do I put the irrevocable period beginning? Or do I even put that in there?
No, I just say beginning,
Beginning April 8th, ending October 1st.
And then with no,
No commission or
Yep.
advertising expense to the county. Motion's getting longer.
mm-hmm,
Well, you,
okay.
Motion to have Von Roth Land Brokers as a broker for Coffee County and approve the chairman to sign the auction listing agreement. Land exclusive,
Oh, listing.
wait a minute, land, where you at, listing?
She forgot G.
I did, listing agreement.
Listing agreement, land, exclusive seller agent for the county, for the sale of Coffee County Commission, North Track, Middle Track, South Track, 12th Street, Burlington, Kansas, beginning April 8th and ending October 1st, 2024, with no commission or advertising expenses to the county.
So moved. I'll second that.
Moved by Huguet, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Those are two sellers.
Two sellers? Or just one?
I think you can, and then there's one or two pages at the very bottom that require just an initial. One of them actually has an arrow pointed at it.
Oh. Then we got to change those dates on the front. Show April 8th.
Do you want your cell on here? Or just the courthouse number?
Just put the courthouse number on.
And what about email? You want yours?
If anything's emailed, it'll be emailed. Just bring it to your email. How's that? Leave my email out of it.
Do I need to make a copy of this too?
Yep, we'll need to send that
Or
one
do you
to,
want it or what?
no, you can keep it tied to that property, and then we'll just send the original to Cameron. That'll give him the ability to move forward.
I can drop it by his office on my way out this morning. Actually, we'll put it in that envelope right there.
So then the next thing, and what I'll suggest Angie to do is to go back in time through another version of the minutes and just pull language from another notice, and then we'll customize it for this particular notice. And while she's doing that, I have a 10-minute executive session, and then the other thing that within, at the very end of the agenda for what's here is the request for road closing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And the only thing I'll mention is, it's up there, there's a whole series of steps that have to be taken for the request for a road closing. One of them requires notice, and then here, on any presentation of any petition for a road, alteration or vacation of any road to the county commissioners. If it's a legal petition, you have to appoint 3 disinterested householders. So I just need to look into this a little bit further, and then we need to come back probably next week and sort of walk through what's required, so that it's sort of like what I call it is the equivalent of a road viewing similar to what you do for a fence viewing.
We'll have to mail out to surrounding properties,
Yep.
owners, and get people.
Well, because I thought it said.
But I just put it out there for discussion.
No, I know.
Not any,
Yep.
I just wanted you to know, be made aware, instead of putting it through correspondence, so.
Wondering what the reason for the road closure is.
I mean, it leads back there to his property. I mean, I used to bail this, I'm familiar with it,
Angie, you got
Yeah,
this,
I mean, stuff
you
on
got
the
this
south side.
request, is that
Yes, he
correct?
delivered it to my office, yeah.
Again, I don't see a reason as to why you want it closed.
Probably tired of picking up trash. Maybe.
I've never seen that there, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen, Jesse.
And for the World Wide Web who's watching, it's a request specific to FIP and Blackbird.
Wade's area, that,
Yeah.
Maybe there's no gate on this property here, but not the only property on that road. He owns this, he owns that. Gate's up there.
wants to close the east-west road.
Yeah, that's the way I take it anyhow.
Dead end down there, that's.
Yeah, dead ends in this lake.
East of Blackbird on Fifth, yeah.
And whose lake is that?
Well, there's some on the other side of it, the other landowners are accessed by the other side, but he's, it's on Johnny Freeman there, I think. Yeah, Johnny Freeman and David Kraft's
Oh.
on that side of it, but then. Yeah.
He owns both sides of the road there on Fifth Lane, or on Fifth.
Well, not leading there to it, not all the way. Maybe they're not wanting to close the whole thing.
I'm reading east
Maybe
of
he's
Blackbird
saying,
on Fifth.
maybe he wants to close it at the quarter-mile line, where his property starts on both sides. 1/4 mile to 1/2 mile into water. So maybe it's just wanting to close the far east end of it.
And you're saying, you're suggesting like a viewing of this road?
Well, I think it's required, you have to have
Okay.
landowners, non-interested landowners, they have to go out and it's sort of like a.
Fence viewing.
Something like a fence viewing.
Okay. I'm in.
And then here's sort of your, ultimately under 68-102, your decision sort of flows from this, but if the board determines such road is not a public utility by reason of neglect, non-use, or inconvenience, or form from other cause or causes such road has become practically impassable, and the necessity for such road as a public utility does not justify the expenditure of the necessary funds to repair such road or put the same in condition for public travel.
Maybe, like I said, maybe I was reading that wrong. Maybe he's wanting to close it at the point where it becomes his property on both sides. If it says between 1/4 mile to 1/2 mile. So if that first 1/4 mile, that would eliminate the other landowners.
Into water, yeah, that's the way I'd take it.
Yeah. But it ends at past the 1/2 mile mark or at the water, basically, not the 1/2 mile mark.
I mean, it just has to flow through, so I haven't looked at this in a while, but last time I remember somebody requested a road being closed. It actually was in a platted area, which is a whole different ballgame, and it didn't go through because it didn't fit that criteria, so. If you just give me a week, I'll have better direction.
get some contact information for him. Is that possible?
believe so.
I'd like to know, I'm not saying anything wrong with it, just what the reason is.
I'll see if we've got a number for him.
Okay, thank you.
And it may be a lot more simple than if you have adjacent landowners if they own the property on both sides.
Yeah, I think he's probably, he does own it on both sides, a quarter mile long, so.
So is that is that a minimum maintenance road then?
Surely it is.
I was just-
It ends down there at that watershed.
Right.
So, yeah.
We haven't went through your area of a minimum maintenance yet, have we?
Well, we did.
Did we start with yours?
We did, for the ones they were adding, but it may already be,
Oh, okay.
I would think it is, but I can't tell you that.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say that it is. Because it does, it leads nowhere. I mean,
It just
other
goes down
than
to
his
that
property
watershed.
at the end of it. I mean, he had a kind of a camping area and everything, he had a nice little place down there. And maybe he's, gonna continue to use that, I don't know, Maybe he just wanted to put a gate up there to keep people from going down there to his area, which I could understand.
So there's no access coming in from the other end?
No, it dead ends
Into this
up
road,
in the lake.
3/4 mile or so east?
No, yeah, once you get, I don't even know if it's a half mile
Yeah.
quite that it dead ends. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Angie, for the next motion, I think the last one that was done to sell property was either the UDO property or SSF. I think it was.
Well, it might be you do probably.
So if you just wanna copy and paste from one of those and then we'll customize it, and while you're doing that, I was gonna request a 10-minute executive session.
And that, motion is part of disposal?
Yeah, it's just the notice authorizing the notice of public hearing, basically,
Okay.
what you see in bold is what it should have, and
Okay.
then specific to the property.
Is there a time frame when UDO's gonna do the work on those 4 or 5 lots in the near future?
For who?
The UDO,
I think that's,
Lavender.
yeah,
he was in there probably been 3 months ago or 4 months ago, and I've understood he
Yeah,
was probably gonna open that.
we needed it ASAP.
2-minute executive session.
But maybe
Before we can, he didn't say what it was.
his
for.
situation changed.
what's that?
The 10-minute executive session.
Oh, no,
What's it referred to?
It's, for legal advice under the attorney-client privilege to the Open Meetings Act, myself, the board, and it's related to, ongoing negotiations regarding Maribel's, as well as, unrelated litigation.
You wanna read it, or we just say something?
Sounded okay to me.
Motion to enter executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, county councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss legal advice under attorney-client privilege related to ongoing negotiations regarding Maribel's as well as unrelated litigation under Kansas Open Space Act, KSA 754-319B2.
I so move.
Second.
Moved by Hugan and seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. We'll enter at 10:46 for 10 minutes.
I'm not gonna be there. I've been Leroy talking to the city council.
Okay. We're back. No action taken on the executive session.
So I found the old motion there. But I didn't know, is it the same property we were just talking about?
Yeah, yeah, that's
So I need to copy the
basically the heading.
county tract.
And incorporate the top piece here, I guess. That's one way of saying.
Relating to the county property. Is that right, Wade?
This may be the back end. I think what you have is the back end that references the public hearing. And this is the notice of the public hearing.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Sorry,
No, it's okay.
I didn't say it very well.
See, that, sorry, I don't have it right.
I apologize.
Let's see, would that have been in 2022 because of the court disruption, possibly?
I think we did several last year. The first one we did
Our
would
notice
have
might
been
have
the
dropped.
Sunset Manor, and then the second one would have been the SSM property. The third one would have been the UDO property. I think those are the three that have used this procedure with the.
Okay, give me a second here, I'll.
UDO one might have been at the very end of
2022.
2023.
2023.
Mm-hmm. Might have been just right after the first year. I can't remember.
Yeah. And we can take what you have and just customize it. But
No, I'm sorry, I pulled the wrong motion there. Okay, so I found one for the CID, but that's not into a public hearing for the purpose of hearing and answering any objections of taxpayers related to proposed, that's not.
Do you have anything for the UDO?
Well, that's what I typed in first, but, I think I have to go back to 2022, right?
No, it should be in 2023.
23, I think, Angie. It would have been done right after the first of the year, I think, is when the.
UDO might have been done right after the first year of 2024, but I don't remember.
But the resolution is done.
with what you have, we'll roll with that.
So, do you want me to add notice of public hearing?
Yep, the board authorizes what's up here.
gone for it.
Gone.
It goes another month, huh?
Well, that went last month, huh?
Like a Band-Aid, rip it off fast.
It was nice and quiet up there, it was a good time.
I think you have to work an extra month this year to break even for your taxes, I think. Maybe an extra 2 months.
I thought that's what this job is for.
Breaking even? I don't know about that.
Well, put it in and
Pretty neat how that happens live.
What?
It's neat how that happens
Oh.
live as you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I, just tell me what you want me to add in there.
And notice of method of sale, I'd include that after the comma. And then immediately after that, what's in bold or highlighted up here, related to the disposition of the following
Okay.
property.
Make sure you save it to your desktop, so you can find it next time.
Yeah.
Use it as a template.
Oops.
Something updated. Probably need to start looking at, bond rates again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna start going fast, huh?
I'd say there's still quite a bit of time on that.
And then I'd say further identified as the north tract, the middle tract, and the south tract, and that should be good to go.
That's growing. I mean, should be.
Mm-hmm.
It is. If we'd had that the whole time.
And, the final part is the public hearing to occur on Monday, May 13th at 10 a.m.
After the auction.
Is that when Cameron comes in and,
Yes, that's after
for the results?
Yep. The auction would be Friday, May 10th at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
7:30.
Okay.
But we put in on all of them.
Yep. And then everything will be further described and outlined in this notice of hearing, but
As far as the price and everything, then that's the reason that it's gonna be after the auction date.
yes, because you'll have to, whoever bids on it, and they'll have to go through and have it vetted by Cameron, and then Cameron will come in and bring the bid and a contract to present to the board that following Monday.
Got your Eclipse visioning glasses prepared? You don't care?
Not that I don't care, Tom, I can watch it on television.
There'll be enough channels.
Get a lot better picture of it there than looking at it themselves.
It's pretty cool to watch. Get your welding ring.
They'll do it from space. That'll be the best picture problem.
All right,
Pretty sure it was.
motion to authorize the notice of public hearing related to the sale, disposition of supplies of surplus county property, the opportunity for public comment, and notice of method of the sale related to disposition of the following described certain real property located at or near Block 2 of the Meadows, in addition to the city of Burlington, Coffee County, Kansas, further identify as the North Track, Middle Track, South Track on 12th Street, Burlington, Kansas, a public hearing to occur on Monday, May 13th at 10 a.m.
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved by Hugues and seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. We've reached another milestone.
Try to put one on my desktop.
There you go. There you go. Well, can you search? Yeah, you can search desktop. Can't you? Okay,
That's all I got.
that's all you got?
All I got.
Don't have any other phone stuff? Sheriff, you got something for us this morning?
Gentlemen, like I talked to you here a week or so ago about having a inmate back here that's doing some time, $5 an hour job.
Yeah.
I have this like we spoke about, getting paid, and I'll give that to Angie, but just to let you know that he's ready for his first paycheck, I guess. Almost all of it's going to his county fees that he owes the court and his med costs that he had back in jail for medications. But he's working, he's going like gangbusters, and it's a start. So, yeah, it's a time that he ends up using some of his wages to pay off his fines and medical costs, and then probably next month he can have it all paid off and maybe have a little money in the commissary account. But
Good.
it's time to start, so just thought I'd present that to you. I told you I would, and if you want me to present it to you each month, I will. If not, I'll present it to Angie, whatever you'd like me to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, if there's plenty of work for them to do, or any others that could do the same, I'm assuming there's not, or you'd be looking at.
The issue becomes, it has to be a post-sentence.
Mhm.
You know, I can't take anybody that's pre-sentence and take them out and have them work, so. And again, they have to be the right candidate. They have to be a nonviolent. I'm not gonna turn somebody, loose in here to do work unless I can trust them, so. It's a process that I go through, but this is a good candidate to be able to work and try to give him a leg up when he gets out of here, so.
That's the idea.
Yeah, it is.
Get out of here and
So,
stay
yeah,
out of here.
absolutely.
Does he like painting?
Sir, he does that, yeah, he's a handyman, so, and they say he's good at it, so,
That's great.
yeah. So, other than that, that's all I have, gentlemen.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Would you like me to present to you each month?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
That's just really interesting in there, so.
We like seeing your smiling face.
You won't sleep well at night if you keep doing that.
There's just things you just cannot see.
Yeah, we just thought maybe we'd, invite everybody to go eat today and turn the bill in and get reimbursed, so.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
That's kind of what we do.
So do we write a check in this amount, and do we pay it from sheriff's office? How do we do it?
I think you guys talked about last time coming from general or
Of
from,
course, general.
from, maintenance or something, however you wanted it done. It's however they want it done.
Well, I think we was talking, I mean, if he's doing maintenance around the,
So general fund, janitorial maintenance.
Wherever it fits best.
Sounds like everything he's doing, or most everything, is in the maintenance department, or
Yeah, I mean,
is
it's,
he in that area?
yeah,
He's figuring $5 an hour.
$5 an hour. That's what the court, has them do when they pay restitution, so.
We make it
Thought you
2 cents.
mentioned 5.
I suppose it needs to be just presented to us so we can deposit it in the account.
Make it to sheriff's office.
No, make it to him,
Okay.
yeah, to him. But if you'll just call him, we'll come up and get it hand delivered. You know what I mean? That way it goes into our account.
He painted the registry of deeds office, so if you go over and look at that, I think they're very, very pleased with what he did.
Good.
He's
You
a
finished all that?
painter by trade.
That's one thing I'm not, is a painter.
Hate to paint, I hate sheet rock.
I sure don't.
I can YouTube it. I can YouTube a lot of things.
Makes us all a pro, doesn't it?
So. Okay. Guess I'll go prepare for being pledged, so.
It's pretty
Sure you
cool.
wear your glasses, Tom.
I like that.
I watched the one in 17, it was pretty interesting, although it's not full, it's still
Yeah.
pretty cool to just watch that slide by.
Oh, I agree, it is, it is,
Next
yeah.
one. 21 years from now?
79, I think, isn't it? I thought I'd catch that one.
20, yeah, 20,
Yeah.
29 years from now?
Yeah, it might be the last one we get to see.
Right. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right.
I thought the last one like this was,
17.
I thought it was 50 years ago or something.
Well, they had one in 17, but it wasn't,
2017?
Have good in Missouri, still have my glasses.
it wasn't a total, but
Yeah.
I said it's still kind of cool to just
The
watch.
glasses are on top of my file cabinet, so I should do math if it's 17.
Been that long.
I guess we're at round table. Wade's out,
I'm tapping out.
Wade's tapping out. Steve?
Yeah, I do. Here about 3 weeks ago, we had a meeting with Bill Michaud and that group. And at that time, I refrained from giving support. I told him that I would think about it. I needed to ask some questions. Since that time, I've had, I don't know, 18, 19 calls on the phone, and nothing bad, just folks reaching out. I've had numerous visits with folks. I'm really uncomfortable with giving support to that. For one thing, the amphitheater, I think, is a bad idea for Coffee County. For one thing, they would build it, they would lease it back to us at a cost. That would put us up for liability, insurance, maintenance, plus the fact that we would have to hire somebody to bring acts in. I did just a little bit of research, and I'm not saying that it's totally correct, but in the last few years, I think there's been 16 different revenue bonds or star bonds or whatever you want to call it. And I think out of that 16, and this may date back to 21 or something like that, only 3 achieved I've lost my, achieved what their goals were supposed to attain. Mm-hmm. One of them was Kansas Speedway, which part of that is the Legends, the casino, and all that. And of course, that's in a populated area. Mm-hmm. Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, so, and then the other one was, I think, the salt mines in Hutchinson, the salt mine museum in Hutchinson. That's also achieved the goal. And then the other one was Heartland Park. And of course, they're closing down now, but I just really feel uncomfortable supporting that. Another one was Derby. They had a star bond, or they call it star bonds, but I think it's revenue bonds, which is the same. But I think they built a dinosaur. It was a type of a dinosaur park, amongst other things. And at the time, and again, part of this has to do with COVID. But I think the numbers on that, the feasibility test, the feasibility thing showed like 112,000 customers. And this may have changed since that, but for 2 or 3 years after that, then the numbers were 45,000. And I can't say that that's totally correct, but that's what I read. I can't support it. I'm just letting you fellows know, I can't support that thing. It feels wrong. I feel really uncomfortable. And when I say that, I've had 18 calls. They weren't calls that people would normally, I mean, these aren't folks that normally reach out. These were constituents that really had concerns on the project. And I really appreciate the calls. I didn't take offense at it at all, but I just can't support it. And I guess that's where I'm coming from.
I do know we're gonna have more discussion towards this coming Monday, next Monday. Joe's gonna be down to discuss it more because there was conflict of executive session and then what Bill was saying last Monday.
Right.
And so I want Joe to come back and once again give us the word of Bill was telling you correctly, I misspoke or I had things turned around.
And when I say that, Jesse, I'll listen to whatever.
Right,
But
right.
but as of right now, I just can't lend support to it. I just really feel uncomfortable for it.
I had one message of don't need a motel, basically was what it boiled down to. The motel that's here, you know, there's any given time, there's 3 cars in the parking lot, you know, it's not full. I was under the impression that they only had 6 rooms that they could put out. The other day I drove by and there's probably 15 cars in the parking lot. I don't know if they was having a birthday party or what, but I did take a picture and you know, which I got told, oh, it's because of the outage that's going on.
Sure.
Well, wouldn't more people stay here if there was a motel that could hold people, and would they not spend money here? You know, and so, I mean, I've only had one. I haven't had anybody come up to me and said, you guys are buying crazy, or you're not, you know. So.
Yeah, and when I say that people reached out, it's been, you really think this is a good idea, we don't.
Mhm.
I guess that's, and they weren't abusive, there was really good dialogue,
Mhm.
and without that, I felt uncomfortable. With that enforced, I guess that enforced, because not everyone reads the paper, not everyone watches the YouTube, so with those numbers of calls, well, bottom line, I'll be glad to listen some more, but I just can't support it.
I do know that they're going under, I do know they are doing the study. I was told last week that they have not come back with a feasibility study not to approve one. If it shows not approved, they work the numbers back to approve.
Right,
So
that's the
what
whole
I'm
thing,
doing.
is that if I understand it right, it's the state of Kansas feasibility, but they've got other entities that they contract out to.
They
It's not
pick
the state of
somebody.
Kansas, yeah, right, they pick someone else. And you're right, very seldom do they come back not showing feasibility. And I just, you can make numbers look however you want to.
Right. I figured, you know, your first year, 16 months, it's gonna operate in the red. But once you start getting performers in and get them booked, I think it would, and this all goes off of how aggressive the individual is that's booking, but you still gotta have people come through the gate.
You gotta have people come through the gate, and somewhere along the line, Coffee County is gonna, my gut is that it's not gonna end well for Coffee County. That's just, that's all I've got to say.
It's a roll of the dice.
I know,
It is.
I know. That's all I've got.
I totally understand. That's what we're here for.
I know.
we're here to agree or disagree.
Hopefully we're friends at the end.
Right,
Exactly.
Represent our constituents.
And represent the taxpayer, their constituents. So, but yeah, like I said, I've only had one person reach out to me. I don't know if anybody else has, while we're on the subject. You've been in Arizona.
Not forever.
Not forever. So,
The first time I talked to Bill was up there when it was just Bobby Skipper and myself, and we were in, I forget now where we were even at. And I had reservations at that particular time, basically the same thing Steve's brought up. I haven't had 18 or 19 people talk to me, just 3 or 4. And they were very professional on how they discussed it, what they brought up, what they thought was too much of a red flag. And of course, when Bill was here the other day, I was having trouble finding enough positive information that I could totally support it at this time. And, you know, it'd be great, something like that would work, but end up with that type of an investment up front, and hopefully it would fly. Probably, that's not the right word. Hopefully it would work and be a very positive situation for Coffee County. But I'm glad to see Joe come back. You know, whether he can give us more information to convince me to switch over to a point, I've got a huge amount of respect for that man. With everything that he has brought to the table, for us to make the decision on the things we have to make a tough decision on, maybe he can soften it up, or it'd be an easier decision and be a more positive decision that would absolutely work after probably 2 or 3 years.
mm-hmm.
And I agree with you 100%. To me, it'll take 1.5 to 3 years to get this thing in black. Like I said, right now I do have trouble in supporting it. And we'll probably have some other decisions like this down the road. The best thing for us to do right now is absolutely be a good listener, review and analyze all the information that's coming to us. And I'm not saying I'm not, you know, I got the highest respects for you three this one particular time. Of course, we don't know how anybody's gonna vote until we get time to make that voting decision. I may switch over too. I don't know exactly where all of us are gonna vote, although I know we've probably got an idea, you know, how each commissioner is gonna vote.
Well, my statement was, was it 2 weeks ago when we talked about it?
Yes.
My statement was that I was much more in favor of it after hearing the numbers.
Yes.
I didn't say that I was in favor of it.
Okay,
So I want to clarify that.
Sure. Yeah.
And going back to that, Wade, I mean, the numbers didn't set.
Yeah, that, you know, because I was not considering it all
Right.
before then. And I want to be open-minded about
Sure.
it. But, you know, I'm like you, I've had, I think, contact with 13 different people. There was 3 of them that I tried to explain to all of them, here's why this is being considered, you know. And 3 of them kind of came to a neutral point, but I didn't get any of them convinced to be on the positive side.
Right.
And something that was a little concerning to me, a friend of mine sent me a copy of a newspaper article out of the Emporia Gazette that the person that's bought the country club in Emporia is applied for a STAR bond and one of the things is to build an amphitheater in Emporia.
So they got the golf course there, and I don't know how many acres is involved.
Yeah, I don't know whether there's enough space there or not. I'm not familiar enough with that property. I've been to the country club, but I don't know what's involved there, but he's put in an application for it.
There's quite a bit of acreage on that golf course, so even though I've never plated itself. I've been around it 3 different times.
So that was concerning to me, you know.
A lot of rolling territory there, you know, whether it's 70, 80 acres, but it's rolling enough that an amphitheater really works without doing a lot of dirt with it. That thing really got some rolling property on it.
But the problem with an amphitheater that I can see is that, I mean, we've got sandstone at Bonner Springs, I think, and it's sandstone, and I don't know how many times it's changed hands. And they've had some really big venues up there. I mean, they've had, most of their acts up there have been big name. But yet that thing changes hands, and for whatever reason, I don't know, but, and going back to what Don said about the people that have reached out, it's been most professional, it's been good dialogue, it hasn't, and it's from folks that normally would never reach out. I mean, they just had some concerns, and that's.
I only had two that were maybe got a little out of line, and one is kind of a habitual, but the other person I've never heard nothing from before.
Don, you have any round table?
No, I'm not. I was gonna probably bring it up next week. I wanna do a little bit more checking, but I'm glad it came out this early. It gives us an opportunity to do some calling, do some checking, and maybe bring a little more value back to the table.
I do know there can be discussions with the state also as to the bed tax could potentially come to the county as well to help fund the Congress, or, Chamber of Commerce, which the original proposal is to go to help pay off the SAR bonds. But it can be negotiated, hopefully, with the state where it could come back to the county as well. So, I mean, that would be more revenue, and that would help the department, or the Chamber of Commerce, fund their people, you know, to run the thing, if that does so happen. So, that's all. I mean, Wade, do you have any more?
No, I segued into that. I didn't mean to step on Don's. No, I have nothing else.
No problem at all, Wade. I mean, we're here to make the best decision we can.
Well, I know, I
Make
should
sure
have
it's
just,
be good
there was a
listening.
point that I wanted to add something, and I kind of got out of order there. Out of order.
You're out.
It enters your mind, you wanna.
Yeah, I tried to get it out before it's gone. That's my problem.
It disappears pretty quick, doesn't it, Wade?
Yes, it does. I have nothing else.
Okay, Tom, you got anything?
Add on to that, I was waiting to see what the feasibility study come back, and maybe talk to Joe a little more, and I'm kinda on the fence. I haven't got any phone calls, but I'm on the fence. One thing I do wanna bring back up though is, with everything we've been doing, don't wanna use the wrong words, but the Fair Board has approached us before, and I don't know if you gentlemen were here in the beginning when they did that, about needing a new crops building down at the fairgrounds.
I think that came up last year.
Yeah, and we kinda, put it on hold, so I'm throwing it back out there for discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, I know metal prices have come down some. You know, it's not like they're gonna get anything, if we all agree to it, it's not gonna happen for this year's fair, but I don't know.
I can't
I mean,
remember.
we're always happy when somebody goes and buys a dilapidated structure, tears it down, puts up a new one, or something like that, but we've got a crops building that's been dilapidated for years. 4-H'ers have been trying to use it, and it's just.
Is that where they used to keep the crops,
Mhm.
in the,
They call it the crops building, but
Crops
yeah,
building.
it's in between what we call the 4-H building.
right,
Well, it's actually
Just east of it.
straight east, it's
Right.
the only building straight east, it's not in between that, but yeah. It's a pretty old structure.
and what were they, refresh?
They're wanting it down
Oh.
and to put up a new structure. At first, we were looking at the ag extension, building them a whole new building, letting them move down there. And all once the property up at Baumgart's came for sale, and we bought it, put them in there, because it was actually cheaper. But, yeah, the Fair Board could use a new building.
Because that was kind of part of the original proposal, was having an extra office space or everything in there, and then we were looking at cutting it back, and
Correct.
that's probably had a lot of other stuff going on, it just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Well, once essentially again, once we bought that building up there, it was, you know, pennies on the dollar, basically. Which, you know, they still have room in the back where they're at now to do, events and meetings for the kids and this and that and the other, but, you know, as far as exhibits and this and that and the other, the Fair Board still lacks that space.
Right.
So, just throwing it back out, seeing where everybody's thoughts were, I mean,
I would support that.
look
You
through,
know, if we can come up with a,
I mean, the partial design's already done.
I was gonna say, there's already been some work done on the chart.
Yeah, we needed like, they needed like another, I can't remember exactly, it's been too long. I wanna say 40,000 to finish the design.
People like- people
And
like
the
this.
estimate at the time was like 900,000 for the building, I believe. And don't quote me, I may not, probably not exact on those numbers, but I'm anticipating, you know, if I could talk to the Fair Board and, you know, we just kinda keep it at, you know, a modest type deal. Of course, they're also looking for space for when they do have the fair, that some people got a place to go take a shower, you know, things of that nature, so. There's a lot of things to consider that they know what they need, I don't.
yeah,
So-
I mean, was that part of the discussion of showers, restrooms? Was there talk about possible kitchen or something? I'm trying to remember.
This is a small kitchenette for when they had like, big events with the 4-H'ers
That
and
was,
stuff like that.
I seem to remember, I
And
mean, I think,
I think that's what they do in the 4-H building they got now, that the city actually owns, that I believe they rent or whatever, maybe the city just lets them go in there, I don't know, but they do utilize the kitchen that's in there.
Well, I mean,
There are showers in that building that get utilized by the 4-H'ers during the fair.
I know a lot of people camp down there and stay over there during the time of the fair, and
You do.
some more showers, which are beneficial, I would think.
Yeah, and I don't know, I know most of it, the need is for display during the fair, so.
I think the person can build a darn nice building with showers and enough room to put what they need in it for
Well,
$400,000.
my
I
opinion
mean,
is,
this architect deal's saying $1 million, you know, that's crazy to me.
Well, it depends on, yeah, if you got a bunch of drop ceilings and this and that and the other. Again, if everybody's on board rethinking it, then
I would
I would be glad to meet with Thorpe and Vicky and whoever at the Fair Board and, you know.
That's just, I forgot all about it, because if I remember right, there was 40,000 or 45,000 already done on architecture.
Mhm.
And so I think we discussed, maybe just using that rather than going ahead and spending another 20 or.
To be honest with you, I don't remember exactly where we left that off, but there was some final design to actually be done for, and I think part of it's just kind of somewhat legality purposes to where they handle all the bidding documents and this and that and the other, and it's gonna have to be a bonded project, all like that, so.
I think they were looking at another 20 to finalize that.
I think that number was.
43 is what we,
20,000 plus
43 is what we got in.
Yeah,
Let's just take another
20 to finish it up.
But, you know, I'm all behind this 4-H program
Amen.
too anymore. All the farmer ag, most of that, 90% of that stuff, I think I'm probably correct. In the old building we got down there, it leaks water like a sieve,
yeah,
leaks water, but I don't think there's any 4-H products in that. I think that's all farmer adults that bring, you know, crops that's maturing at that time, flowers that have matured at that time.
Correct.
And I don't think there's any 4-H clubs in there, but, it'd be nice if they had a little more space for, you know, for meetings, for restroom facilities, for the,
And that would benefit the whole.
benefit the whole
area,
thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just asked to take a look at our.
She's printing off new ones.
Yeah, county balances and then, you know, it's okay, I'll touch base with the fair board again and say, hey, we're back out for discussion.
Sounds good.
Like I say, with everything we've done financially and everything that's been coming at us, we put the 4-H and the fair board on the back burner for everything else.
Right.
If I remember right, it was discussed several times last year, and then for whatever reason, it was.
So,
You got lost in the ramble.
anyway,
Didn't we added money to the solid waste?
Yes,
Didn't we, why is it still in the red?
it's not. It's 72,000.
yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
We do need to add some more to the chips though, because, I don't need to talk now.
No, you're
You're
fine. You're fine.
When we did our audit adjustments at the end of last year, when we rolled over to the new year, we had a little glitch, and so, something didn't carry over with the chips, so we've got to put some more money in there.
Okay.
So, but.
How long do we have before we have to put money into it?
Well, I'll do it here soon so that it's not in red.
But isn't the auditors, isn't Phil coming in next week or two?
They were here last week.
Did they
And
make
did
a
their
correction to correct it?
Yeah,
I'm not saying you can't do it,
no,
but to me, I'd like to have a CPA be in charge of that.
they are gonna,
And
yeah.
then it's more apt to fly through all the
That's,
hoops.
yeah.
And, 'cause if something was in error to get January 31st to where it should have been, we probably have Phil's firm, and we could still call him if he, would entertain a question on that.
Yeah, we work
Where to
through,
move it, or how much to move from, this account versus that.
What about the American Relief Act, the Fund Act? Did we have something earmarked on that? Is there a certain time we're supposed to have this used up by?
I don't know, because that Southeast Kansas group was supposed to be
Everyone's
running it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
I don't think there's anything specifically set for that 296. That's quite a bit of money sitting there too.
I don't think we can use it for that though.
What is that, Angie? The American Relief?
That
Yeah,
was
this
from,
guy.
COVID
Yellow line
money.
down there at the
Oh,
bottom.
COVID money.
And there's certain things you can only use that on.
Okay.
And so we just gonna have to revisit to see what the criterias are.
Okay.
The health department's gonna use it for their remodel downstairs, at least a part of it, I think
I
it
thought they was
qualifies.
getting a grant on that, wasn't they?
That's a vote.
Oh,
Yeah.
getting a grant, okay.
They were getting a grant, and
And there's.
Okay.
Because I think that qualifies for.
They
Okay.
they had to redo their doorways and a bunch of different
Yep.
things.
Right.
It's gonna be kind of
Really expensive.
not just a paint job.
she got a certain amount, but there won't be enough to cover everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that would be a good use of
Yeah.
that money.
Our second set of bonds for the jail, we're gonna be taking 800 some, say 900,000 out of that, 17 million, so at the end of March, that, jail construction project's still gonna have 16.5 in it. So we probably wouldn't have to take a look at it unless somebody that works with bonds all the time, like Joe and maybe someone else, could give us some excellent information on what the bonds and interest are gonna do. And I'm not sure anybody has the facts on that, but they'd have better facts than what we would, or hope they would.
Richard Kroll had some thoughts on that, about trying to use some reserves and wait till interest rates get lower.
I was gonna say, Richard, I think is a good resource.
Yeah, because this won't be the tax-free bonds, will it? This will be taxable bonds. This next round.
Right.
I think it'll be taxable.
It's on the radar of both Joe and Greg, and they had mentioned the board having to take some sort of action as early as July, probably no later than August or September.
We talked about that about 3-4 months ago.
Yep.
Just don't wait too close to the tail end.
Right.
And I think it was July and August.
Yep.
Richard just had some thoughts, some options in mind, so I'd like to see us
I'll
bring
let
him
you,
into the conversation.
I'll let you,
Yeah.
I think he's got some good input, or we'll have some good input.
Can we get them, or?
Well, whenever we get down to that point.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
want him today.
Today, no,
Okay.
no.
Vito Junction, CID's ramping up there quite well. 116,000. We haven't spent any money out of that, have we?
And
I thought we were just supposed to get that money every quarter. We've only had one quarter.
so,
I think we've seen them monthly, haven't we?
Yeah, I think it was.
It has,
monthly.
I think we're getting them monthly.
I hadn't caught that,
Well, it could be monthly, because January and February are the same, and then March we got a bump up, so maybe it is quarterly.
okay. So, am I correct, that money needs to be spent for improvements in that CID district, correct?
Mhm.
Correct. Okay. So it's their building, it's not like we're gonna lose it or anything, but we'll have plenty of projects in there if things go as planned that money can be used for, I would sure think, correct?
Was the original intent, yes.
Yeah.
but you never told us original dollar amount being that 35 to 40,000 every quarter. And here we're at 85 in January and February. We spent it down to 116, so we're spent 64,000 out of that account. If somebody said what that was, I'd probably, recall what it went for, but right now I don't recall
Well, I
what
don't
it
think
went
we've spent any money out of that.
That's our growing balance.
That's the growing balance.
for. Okay, if it takes with the growing balance, you're probably correct.
Yeah, because we've got the same identical figures for January and February, and then apparently they made a payment in March to get us up to that 116, or that's how I would think it would be.
Well, they have probably made a payment somewhere around 42 to get it up to that. We probably haven't paid a nickel out of that account yet.
No, we haven't.
Right.
Probably haven't.
Yeah, because we haven't made any improvements in that district that I'm aware of.
$30,000, yeah, that's about right, that's about 30 grand a quarter, I think.
Yeah. So
We're
the,
just talking about 35.
so this money that we would need to replenish the CHIPS account, where would that typically come from?
Well, I think we've been moving it from the general fund to put in there to cover
Okay.
that. But as far as we know, there's no other expenses
Right.
coming out of it right now, but.
Okay, I figured so, but I didn't know if there's any special source because of the kind of program it is.
You have your round table, ma'am?
I've still been working with department heads on, some department heads, on the time clock plus. I spent quite a few hours out last week with noxious weed recycling, trying to get things, their leave accruals, not all of them were wrong, but one of them had some vacation sick, and then there were some comp adjustments. And so some of it, I think, was just education, so I showed them where they need to go and how they need to select that, and so hopefully that'll work for them. And then I also worked with the sheriff's office last week. We are, we're trying to see if we found a way that we can kind of work around things to where it might work for them. So we were gonna get back together this week and talk to them and see how that's going. And then, otherwise, everybody else is pretty quiet, so, I did find out, I don't know if I told you, did I tell you that Lyon County's going countywide with time clock plus now?
I think you mentioned that.
I think I told you.
Okay, yeah, maybe that was just,
And so they're having to rebuild
they're having
with
their
their
problems.
code, yeah.
Because at that time, it wasn't law and
It was
highway
only,
department were
Yeah.
separate entities.
yeah,
And then the rest of them were paper, is that,
right.
and so,
And so now they're having to line their job codes up with CIP, and so
They're having the issues you're
they're
having.
finding out, kind of what we've been going through too, so.
Yeah.
And then there was discussion about, if I asked them if they had a kind of a lead person that talked directly with Time Clock Plus or whatever, and she said yes, because especially now that they're gonna be going with the rest of the courthouse, if people go in and change job codes or anything like that, they're not gonna communicate with each other. So it was kind of like what I was saying all along, that it could cause a lot of problems if everybody's hands were in the pot,
Because right now,
making changes and
because right
nobody.
now you're the lead with CIC.
Right.
CIC.
Right. I mean, they can edit their people, they can do all the things that they might wanna do, but when it comes to, you know, like getting with the Time Clock Plus or CIC or whatever, you kinda need, or they need to include me in that conversation, because if there's a change made, and then we find a problem in CIC, or they don't get paid correctly, we don't know where to go find the solution, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, so I did visit with them again on that. Otherwise, we're getting ready for the next election, which will be the USD 245 school bond election,
That's me.
May 14th. And advanced voting will start at the end of April here, the 24th. So we're gearing up for that, and then August and November elections, so,
And the big one.
yeah. And I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. I updated your books with the changes for department heads. I was working on checking the department heads' new updated list so you could review that, but I found I had to make a couple corrections. So I don't know if you're gonna go through these.
Do we need
today.
to have that done by, do we need to have that done by today or next week?
No, I mean, you could do it next week,
Okay.
approving this, but I didn't know if you wanted to go back and look through your books, or if you're good with, they just added that extra for the department heads and elected
Mhm.
officials, and then I can put the resolution together for next week, and this updated department head sheet, then you can kind of skim through and make sure they did it correctly, so, however.
I looked at all the department heads that I looked at, the top 5 or 6. You know, they were, other than I had that question, but I looked at the old one instead of the new one, but it looked like everything was correct.
Yeah.
To the 2200. But I hadn't looked at the last 3 or 4.
I'm good with everything.
Okay, so we'll get the official documents ready for next week, and then you can make the motions to approve, and then we'll update the payroll system and should be ready to go.
Jesse, you had mentioned, speaking of the CP5s for janitorial maintenance, the employee who has been here 20 years, bumping them up to the next pay grade from a 20 to a 25, and doing the math, they would only go up 11 cents versus if the recommendation
Did
is
the
to go from.
difference?
Yep, which was
Okay.
33 cents, and I think that was in line with what everybody else did. So if
Okay.
you go through and you see that, that's why I did
Okay.
that, and I wanted to bring that up.
Raised it that amount then.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. I just think it was gonna be more, I didn't look, see what the difference was by the end, by the two last in the field that the individual was in, or the next, I didn't look at the difference.
It would either go up 11 by going from 20 to 25, and I looked the next pay step up, and it would go up somewhere around $1, and I didn't think that was in line with what was happening with everybody else, so I bumped it back, and that's what the recommendation is.
Okay.
Just FYI.
And then the next big thing we'll be getting ready for is budget. So we've already sent the letters out to request budgets to be delivered back by the middle of June, like we normally do. And so,
Man, it's from the frying pan to the skillet.
I know,
It just seems like we got done with
we're
it.
often like popcorn.
We just did it.
Yeah, we just did it. That's what I was thinking. Holy smokes.
Mercy.
I think that's all.
I don't think I have anything. Oh, I did speak with Aaron Cathcart this morning a little bit. He said he was pretty enthused about what you guys got worked out last week, for the time clock. He said we're gonna go do some projections, whatever that means, so.
Yeah,
good.
we're hoping it'll work.
Good. It's been a long road for you and everybody that's had to work with you.
Yeah, for everybody involved, appreciate all of everybody's efforts.
I don't have anything. I visited with Tom last week after our meeting, and he called, wondering how we did with the CP5s. I filled him in. I guess the pool's open up now, but, got that taken care of. Yeah, the pool's open. So, I did visit with Bobby last week about having Joe come down. I think I talked to Bobby a couple times last week, but, for the stars deal.
Oh, okay.
Star ones. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Do I need to sign something here?
No, that was
Okay.
just your copy you put on my desk. Give it back to you.
Drop this off at Cameron's. I don't have anything else, guys. Unless anybody else got one last word. Speak now, forever hold your peace. We'll adjourn.
For at least a week.
For at least a week. We'll adjourn 11:54.
For next week.